Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here on a Saturday night. Talk about investing, talk about a bunch of different things. I am late. I will not deny it. I need to go get the chocolate milk. Will not deny that I was late. I'm never late. But you know what? There are people talking about milk in the comments before we started. Figured I'd go get some. So tonight, planning on discussing CPI, where I see the market going in the next 11 days, what I think about 2026, and as promised, we will touch on Ethereum and probably BMNR. So before we get into everything, please take a moment to read the disclaimer. I do not know your situation. I am not a financial advisor. Everything I discuss is my own opinion. Please take everything I say with a grain of salt. Please do your own research. Do not make any moves because I am making them or because I am consider making them. Make sure that whatever you do fits your own investing style, and please do your own research. A lot of regulars here. Thank you, Chels, for being here. Midwest Rambler. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Nick Dorsey. June, thank you. Sergio's here. Lisa's here. We got the whole crew here almost. And I put the signal out. We'll see if anybody joins. They all have the link. So we'll see what happens. So, ended the week pretty good this week. We had the Dow Jones. Does anybody even care about the Dow anymore? That was a question Amin and I were discussing. Up 183 points. S&P up 60 points to finish Friday out. NASDAQ 301 points up. We look over a 5-day. The S&P was actually down 0.14%. We got the Dow over a 5-day period down 0.92%. And the NASDAQ over a 5-day period was up almost 0.3%. It's getting interesting. It's definitely getting interesting. So let's get right into it. Let's look at a chart of the S&P. I'm going to go over what I think we're going to see, and we'll start to move into a bunch of different things. So when I look at this chart, I think that this is something that is consolidating and can go higher. I mean, we're getting higher lows. We're getting bounces. I'm excited for the end of the year. I know a lot of people are very wishy-washy at the moment. The reality is we've had a really good year, okay? Despite Liberation Day, despite getting down to almost 4,800 in April, S&P is still up 16.21% on a year-to-date basis, okay? That's a good year. I will take 16% every year from the S&P, considering the average is around 11%. I'll take this every year. Do we get volatility? Absolutely. Do we get retracements? Absolutely, but retracements are healthy. I am hoping that this is an anomaly over here, okay? But these retracements that we're seeing, healthy. Now, I think that there is a lot of firepower left. We only need 166 points to get S&P 7,000. I think we're going to get there. And I think we're going to get a Santa Claus rally. Here's why. One, we got to go back to the Fed. We got to go back to the economic projections, and we got to frame it in a very specific way. So we got a really dovish Jerome Powell. We got a dovish cut. A lot of people, including myself, thought we were going to get a hawkish cut. And on the economic projections, the Fed is expecting that 2026 growth reaccelerates with a projection of 2.3% on GDP compared to what they're expecting to finish out as 1.7% for 2025. I mean, that's a little bullish. What's even more bullish is where they see things going in the future. 2027, they're expecting real GDP growth to be 2%. 2028, they're expecting it to be 1.9%. Unemployment is up 4.6% right now. They're expecting it to finish the year out at 4.5%, then trickle down to 4.4 next year and 4.2% for 2027 and 2028. We got PCE coming in at 2.9%, and it's expected to fall 2.4, 2.1% in 2027, and then reach 2% in 2028. You got core PCE at 3%, expected to go to 2.5% next year, 2.1% the following year. Get down to 2% in 2028. This is very bullish, in my opinion. We have the commodity markets that are cooperating. I showed it on the last stream. Input costs are a driving factor for industrials, transports, and many other aspects of the economy. And when I look at where we are on the commodity sector, hold on one sec, everybody. You may have a surprise. Hold on. So let's bring this up. When we look at crude down almost 20% year over year and Brent down almost 20%, you got gasoline down 12%. We start getting into different commodities. I mean, look, gold and silver are up. That silver is having an incredible year this year. Start looking at food costs. A lot of them are down. A lot of them are down. We start looking at eggs and salmon. They're down. Eggs are down tremendously. So the big thing, though, is oil. Oil touches everything we do. And when oil prices are lower, and oil is at 56 a barrel right now, and it's trading in a range, input costs for manufacturing go down. Inflation tends to go down. And I really do think we are in a disinflation. Chris and I have talked about it, Min and I have talked about it. I've talked about it before. But disinflation is continuing in the Fed's forecast. I mean, they're putting it in the PCE numbers and the CPI numbers across the board, multi-year lookout. Now, they're cutting rates. What happens when they cut rates? Cost of capital becomes less. That's really bullish. So in an environment where we have CPI lowering and inflation at 2.7%, I mean, remember, inflation just came in at 2.7%. So, sorry, I'm having a conversation with somebody that may or may not come on. We'll see. Getting into my train of thought. And June is correct. Milk is the only commodity that matters. The only one. Now, Powell was dovish. We got dovish economic indicators. Powell is leaving. We're going to get a new Fed chair. The new Fed chair is likely going to be aligned with a lower rate environment. When I looked at the Fed dot plot, it has not changed. I still think we're going to get 2 or 3 rate cuts next year. So I think this supports a year-end rally. There is none of the big companies that we care about have indicated that there's a problem anywhere. So When we look at the economic factors, I think we're getting to 7,000. I'm not changing my stance. I know we all want Matt. We want Matt money as Fed chair. The White House's favorite YouTube streamer, Matt Money for Fed chair. I'm putting my phone on silent, everybody. I apologize. But in all seriousness, Matt would be a great Fed chair. And I think the year-end rally is intact. I mean, what's the reason not to allocate capital to the capital markets? And keep in mind, with where the Fed is and where all the capital in the money market accounts are, is it crazy to think that money is just going to stay on the sidelines? I don't think so. I don't think that we're going to be in an environment where people want to hoard cash in money market accounts. I think they're going to look to put that capital to work. And really, there's no other place to do it but in the capital markets, in an environment where cash is generating a much lower yield. And now at 5%, that whole T-bill and show methodology sounded smart, but everybody who did that got killed by the market. Just putting your capital in an S&P 500 index fund would have done significantly better than T-bill and show. But people wanted to de-risk and take the free money. They still underperformed. Now, I do think that we can get 1 or 2 trillion moving out over 2026 back into the markets. We'll see if that happens. It doesn't seem like anybody is selling off the majority of their assets because they're worried right now. We're certainly not in a bubble with the cash flows that the largest companies in the market are generating. And we're in an environment where we got great earnings across the board and we got great projections across the board. This is going to come down to liquidity. This is going to come down to a tug of war. Oracle was a stumbling, I don't even know how to put it. Oracle was the one thing the bears latched onto and it made the market stumble. But we got the good CPI report afterwards. Even though Hock Tan minced words a little bit on the earnings call for Broadcom, Broadcom's earnings were solid. We got really good projections and we got great growth out of Micron. Everything is showing us that the AI trade is real. Everything is showing us that the mega caps are just going to get bigger. And I am not in the camp that we're going to fall. Now, 2026, and I am saying 7,000. I'm not changing my stance for 2025. We got 11 days. Let's see if I'm right. It's a short 2 weeks, got 2 holidays. Maybe we get there, maybe we don't. Either way, I'm really happy this year. 2026, I'm saying we're getting to 8,000 unless we get a black swan event that happens. And here's the reasons why. It's not going to go straight up in a line. I'm not thinking about seesawing events or anything else. I truly believe the economic setup is very strong. As the Fed continues to cut rates, the 30-year will start to be lower. I think the housing market's going to get unlocked. I think that we're going to see refinancing. I think we're going to see people actually selling homes, more homes coming on the market. And unlike others, I actually think that we're going to see home prices decline. It may not be next year, but I think in 2027 and 2028, we will see home prices decline as long as the Fed gets rates to around 2.5% or lower. So I think there'll be a lot of supply on the market, and we will cause starter homes, and not just starter homes, but what looks like a housing market that's just unreachable for many. I mean, when I look at the prices of homes, it's so far out of reach for so many people, I think it cracks. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But as the market declines for rates, we're going to be in a position where a lot of projects happen on construction, a lot of banks make money on refinancing, and a lot of companies do well because you have textiles that'll do well, machinery, a lot of things. You also have the AI trade. We're going to need more energy. A lot of parts of the market are going to work. Then we got productivity. We got AI, robotics, productivity that should help a broad market rally. Are we going to see retracements? Absolutely. We will see retracements of 5, maybe 10%. But there's nothing next year based on the economic projections. And I know that we can't take everything at face value with the Fed, but if we look at where they are signaling, it certainly doesn't look like a recession is coming into play. And if that's the case, I think it's going to be a theme of the large caps just get bigger. They pull us forward, broad market rally, and we can touch 8,000 next year. So what do you guys in the chat think? Are you with me on this? 7,000 this year, 8,000 next year on the S&P? Ray's here. What's going on, Ray? We're going to get on BMNR and Ethereum in a little bit. So those are my projections based on the economic indicators and everything that we're seeing. So 7,000 this year, 8,000 next year. Sergio, I'm saying we're going to finish the S&P at 7,000 this year, 8,000 2026. Man, chocolate milk is so freaking good. I gotta tell you, chocolate milk's amazing. I'm not looking at loan companies right now. You know what? We should do a poll. Hold on. We will absolutely do a poll right now. All right. Start a poll. Can we hit S&P 8,000 2026? See what everybody thinks. Overwhelming yes at the moment. All right, we'll leave it up for a few minutes. I gotta say, you guys are amazing. The chat's amazing. This is why I have to close the chat when I'm talking a lot of times, because you guys make me crack up and lose my train of thought. You really do. Oh man, my favorite REITs, Realty Income. I mean, they're just gold standard in my opinion. Yeah, ARE, I need to look at them again. They had some issues this year. They were doing really well and then had some issues. I got to look into them again. All right, we got 70% saying yes. I don't know where anybody is, to be honest with you. Nobody answered me on my last message. Remember, they're all out doing things. I'm not doing anything. I'm hanging out with all of you. This is how we spend Saturday nights. We spend Saturday nights together. They're all going and doing things. I'm hanging out with all you guys. NNN REIT is very similar to Realty Income. They focus on single property commercial, though, whereas Realty Income focuses on strip centers and stuff like that. Chels, have a safe flight. Matt and I will be on tomorrow afternoon. I got to talk to him, but we'll be on tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, NNN REIT, I like NNN. It's good. Chris Patel spending that meta money. Listen, a lot of people spending that meta money right now. Rocket Lab launch. Look at that. I have turned into a stream junkie. It's great. I like hanging out with everyone. So, look, right now, there's no secret stock. I don't think that we're going to be in an environment like 2021 or 2022. I think that trying to find the next Palantir is going to be very hard, and trying to find the next Robinhood is going to be very hard. Okay. I do think SoFi is going to do really well. I'm starting to have worries about VC. I'm having worries about the casino industry. I need to do some on-site due diligence, to be honest with you. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I started looking at VG, not finished yet. Now, when it comes to next year, I think Amazon's going to do really well. There's no secret sauce. I think the companies are going to do really well are the big ones. I think QXO is going to do well. That's the sleeper. You guys all know about it because I've been talking about it for a little bit. I think the rest of the market is sleeping on it, and QXO is a sleeper right now. Brad Jacobs is going to turn that thing into a freaking juggernaut. Just a matter of time. Amazon should do very well. They have all the right components. They're scaling, and I think they can increase margins. The margin game for Amazon is the most important thing right now. Is they're operating at 11.2% margin. If they can get their margins to expand, their profitability should go off the charts. And if that happens, we will get a very good turnaround on it. Okay, so Finbear Kaz, the next 5 years will create 20 Palantirs. What companies are the next Palantirs? I would love to know. I think everybody in the chat would love to know. Just list them. And to end the poll, 71% saying S&P 8,000. I think Amazon's primed to pump. I did not watch Tanner's video yet. And I am warming up to the Neo Clouds, everyone. So I will let everybody know when I take a position, but I am warming up to them. Look, Tanner does really good research. I actually would like to talk to him. But we'll see. If BMNR's chart looks like Palantirs, I think we're all going to be really happy. So we'll see. I do think, man, all right. So before I go into the next thing, all right, there's a new poll coming out. I want to know how many people actually own Nebius. Do you own Nebius or CoreWeave? And forgive me, I may not be putting the right symbol in for CoreWeave. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys really are the Nebius army, aren't you? Jesus. 93% Nebius, 7% CoreWeave. Holy cow. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Nebius army, huh? Okay. Very interesting. June, you don't own either of them? Interesting. If you own both, put which one you own more of. You got 93 votes, 89% Nebius. Jesus. All right. Well, hopefully everybody's doing really well in those. I know they've been back and forth. I should have done a poll with the none option. I didn't. I apologize. All right, we have over 100 votes, 86% Nebius. You guys are the Nebius freaking cartel, aren't you? I guess I'm going to have to join the Nebius cartel. This week, I will look to do it. I got very busy last week. I really didn't do much in the market. So, ended up buying Ethereum last night on the FinTech Friday show. We'll see what happens. I mean, look, when it comes to Ethereum, I don't think it's just another crypto. It's becoming the settlement layer for the fastest growing product in the space, which is stablecoins. If you follow me, you know that what flipped me on Ethereum was the Genius Act, was legislation for the stablecoins, because they're really a killer app that's driving real transaction utility. And Ethereum remains. Keep in mind, these are just my opinions, okay? From the research I did. So take it with a grain of salt. But everything I am seeing is showing that Ethereum is remaining the dominant base layer for stablecoin liquidity, issuance, and integration. And that's going to be huge. Ethereum is under 3,000. I added some last night under 3,000. Maybe I'll add some more today or tomorrow. But this is not something that I can tell you this is going to be somewhere. I can't tell you where anything's going to be tomorrow or the next day. Over the long term, I think Ethereum will do well because I'm thinking of this as a global smart contract liquidity system. And stablecoins, tokenized assets, and on-chain finance are going through Ethereum. Because from what I see, it has the best security and integrations and liquidity. Now, the total stablecoin market cap is around 309 billion. Ethereum has roughly 54% of the market right now at around 166 billion. We have transaction velocity from the upgrade. It is cheaper to utilize Ethereum's L2s, and their L2s are scaling, whereas L1 has the security in the final settlement layer. Now, you look at Circle, their USDC is on Ethereum. You have PayPal building on Ethereum. You have MasterCard building on Ethereum. And the big thing, at least for me, for Ethereum is their supply economics. So you have staking, which once again, it's a productive asset, proof of stake. You're able to generate roughly 3% on it. And then you have the fee burning mechanics. And every time stable coins are used or Ethereum is used for something, there's a base burn fee, and this can make it deflationary. When you combine those two, I think Ethereum is very interesting. Now, the reason that I like BMNR is because they are scaling their holdings in Ethereum. If Ethereum becomes the de facto for stablecoins and stablecoins truly take off, I mean, think about it. SoFi, Noto just said on the crypto podcast that they're building their stablecoin on Ethereum. If stablecoins take off next year, we're going to be in a position where you have a lot of transaction volume and Ethereum will get burned. BMNR trying to get to 5% is going to put us in a position when they're staking, all that capital becomes accretive to their earnings. Sorry, something's in my eye. And then every transaction is going to burn some off. So not only are we getting more of it from the staking on the yield, the actual supply is likely to go down because Ethereum can only issue 1.51% on an annualized basis unless the rules on the protocol are changed. So we could find ourselves where they're burning off more than what is being issued, and BitMine, BMNR, is actually getting 3% on all of their Ethereum. Really interesting. So I am really bullish on Ethereum and BMNR for a several year play. This is not something for next month. This is not something for 3 months down the road. This is a long-term play. I'm still building out the positions. So we'll see. I know crypto's not for everybody, and we could go further. Matt's been correct. He said we were going to hit a crypto winter. I don't know if we're in a crypto winter, but crypto's going down. I mean, we saw Tom Lee kind of flip-flop a little bit, saying we're going to get a big drawdown, then a big upswing. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen. The real question is, do we believe that Ethereum is going to be a solid player and a foundation on the future of finance? If that answer is yes, it's interesting. If that answer is no, put your money somewhere else. For me, I like it. I know you guys keep telling me about TeraWulf. I know I don't have time to research every little thing. I will look at it though. I promise. Tommy, I have not bought VG yet. It's on the list. I was going to do it on Friday. I didn't. There are some things I'm hoping to get into. The two companies on the top of the list that I do not own, that will be new positions that I'm going to try to buy on Monday, because I think I'm going to have some time. Nebius and VJ. So I will be coming in there. I did say I'm holding BMNR for several years. BMNR and Ethereum, I am holding for several years. I have no interest in getting out of them. They're long-term plays for me. I've held XRP since like 2018 or 2019. I have no interest in selling it. Yeah, back to 150. I'm in it for 19 cents. So, is what it is. How Micron. I mean, we should have been buying Micron. I mean, Micron was one of the easiest plays. I'm not in it. Can't own everything. But when I look at that quarter, so bullish AI. So bullish AI. Yeah, Mambo gets money. I'd add Solana in there, but yes, I agree. Broadcom is something I am interested in also. So that'll end up in the portfolio at some point. I am looking to do 2 public portfolios on YouTube next year. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna structure everything. One is gonna be trying to beat the S&P 500. The other is gonna be an income-producing portfolio. So I actually own Hedera, believe it or not. The reason I own Hedera is because IBM and Alphabet are on the Hedera Council, and I have not done any research into them. I just bought it because they're on the Hedera Council. That's it. But I am thinking about doing 2 different portfolios and doing either a weekly or a monthly update on them, or maybe turning Saturday night into an update on both of them. We'll see. But I am interested in doing that. I get a lot of good feedback from the dividend harvesting series that I do on Seeking Alpha. So I think it would be interesting to do something like that on YouTube. I got to see when, though. I think I'm going to do it to start the year off. I was going to wait till after tax season because I'm expecting a huge tax bill. But you know what? We'll figure it out. I'll try to figure all this out next week. I'm going to try not to work as much next week and try to figure some stuff out for the YouTube channel and start turning some of these live streams into portfolio dives and building out the portfolio with everyone. So we'll see. I saw that Amit had the interview with the incoming CFO. I have not watched it yet. I actually was working today. I am planning on listening to it tomorrow morning when I take a walk to the farmer's market. So it is the next thing on my list to listen to. I also have not listened to the Compounding Friends yet. So that will also be in the queue for tomorrow. Good evening, Richard. Oh, yeah, the work doesn't stop just because it's the holiday season. Next week is still, a lot of work to get done. I haven't been looking into Tempest AI. I apologize. A lot of things to look into. What's on everybody's plate for next year? What are the companies that you're most interested in? That's what I want to know. Give me some ideas of things to research. Dougie Dallas. What's going on, Dougie? Opendoor. I don't know. I got to tell you guys. Look, I give Elon Musk a lot of credit. I would love nothing more than to sit down with somebody at ARK Invest and have them run me through the numbers. I know I have disagreed with them a lot. I want them to try to make me understand their projections. I can't figure it out. Their projections make no sense. They never have to me. Oh, what audiobook, Dougie? I got a great one for you if you want one. Pan W's interesting. I can't believe that freaking OpenAI is going to get this valuation. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. I had a invitation to invest in SpaceX last week, and I turned it down, everybody. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but thank you very much. Great guy. It's not for me. Vertiv is interesting. A lot of people are liking Figure. I got to tell you that. NVIDIA, I believe, is the way. I think when we make our projections next week on on FinTech Friday, I think people's. Oh, before I finish that, Tommy Dimes, you ready for this? I own Corning. How about that one? GLW, I actually own Corning. I think I bought it when the dividend was 3.5 or 4%. It's been on a freaking run. Been on a run. Yeah, I owned Crown Castle and got out of it when they spun out the fiber business because I was worried about them reducing the dividend. And now I don't even remember what I was going to say. Path? No, I'm not in that. Oh, SoFi. So I think next year is going to be a big year for SoFi. We had a huge year this year, but I don't think it's crazy to think that SoFi hits 35 or 40 next year. And I know that's not a huge move up from where we are, but for long-term SoFi bulls and SoFi shareholders, that's a big move. And I think the stars are going to align for Anthony Noto and the team. I think next year is the year we get into the S&P 500. I think it's the year that everything just kind of comes together. And it's going to be the first year they're not fighting anything off their back foot. They can truly go on the offense. Lower rate environment, housing market gets unlocked, student loan refinancing, more originations across the board on loans. They're going to expand the NIM, which is the net interest margin, because all the interest that they're paying out on the deposits will be less. So they'll be able to increase their spread between the cost of funding and their interest that they're charging on the loans. I would like to see us really take the big step forward in business banking. I'd like to see wealth management get integrated. Hopefully, they are sick of me complaining about this and they do something about it and we become a custodian of 401k plans. I do think that SoFi is in a position where we're going to get pretty good revenue off of crypto and options. So I would like to see SoFi do something next year. We already got the 25 tranche for his PSUs. Let's see if we can hit the 35 or 45 tranche. But SoFi is going to be a winner, I believe. I'm really interested in where we go from here. I'm not currently buying, but I am in it for, I'd have to look. Anywhere from 9 to 11 bucks is where my average is. IWM? No. No. Are we going to make this IWM and chill, Dougie? I mean, come on, don't do that to me. Why would we do that? Look, here's why I don't want to be in the Russell. You ready? People hate when I say this. Over the past decade, it's up 120%. You know where the S&P is? On SPY over the past decade, you're at 230%. There's no reason to be in IWM, in my opinion. I would rather be in the best companies with the best cash flows and have all the upside trajectory. Think about this. When the companies get too big, they leave the Russell. We want all that exposure. I mean, I'd rather be in a total market fund, which I hate total market funds, than IWM. I'm just against IWM. I understand the premise that people want to capture the small caps moving to mid caps, et cetera, or the micros going from micro to small to mid. I get that, but I want to capture the biggest companies infinitely up. I don't want to be capped at everything and then have them move out of the index because you would have missed the entire move in Netflix and in Nvidia and everything else. So I'm not an IWM person, never have been. That's my own opinion. I think Uber's going to be fine when it comes down to it. I think Uber will be okay. All right, what's this? What is season 1 of The Studio? Gary Wards. What is this? This is a TV show that I have no idea what you're talking about. What channel is it on? Or what streaming service? How much did Uber dip? I don't really follow Uber that much. 79. That's a pretty decent dip. I'll do more work on it. Yeah, Dougie, I'm with you. I think Caterpillar will do well. I like a bunch of the names that you said. Oh, I mean, stock portfolio, but alternative assets are always fun. A lot of news in the alternative asset world. I got to figure out time to really put everything together. Cat may be overbought, but with the amount of construction happening, to me, it's interesting. What we need to figure out is genomics, to be honest with you. I think genomics is something where there's money to be made. I just don't know enough about it. Any dairy stocks worth investing in? I don't know. I think Alphabet's the easy money's made. It's funny how everybody wants to be in Alphabet now, but they didn't want to be in it at 150, 160, 170. So, oh no, I think the easy money's made on Alphabet. My opinion. Yeah, ARCG may be the only way to play genomics. I don't know enough about it, so that I may just buy that. I did not look. I didn't buy anything last week. Milk is on the list of things to buy. Man, the OpenAI IPO scares the hell out of me, especially when you start seeing the way that the level that they're looking to fund this at. I mean, how can you have an $800 billion company or $1 trillion company that's not profitable? I don't understand it at all. No, we don't chug cream instead of milk. Come on. CELH. See, look at Dougie looking for the adjacent plays. Companies that make transformers and power cables. Love that. Love that. Look, you guys know I like energy. I like energy stocks. I like pipelines. I like Chevron. We need more energy. We need more pipelines. So we'll see. Yeah, June, I agree with that also. Okay, what is the obsession with Duolingo? That I don't get. I don't get Duolingo. I think people are going to be surprised. I think, believe it or not, the bull market can last another 2 or 3 years. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If the economic projections out of the Fed are correct, there's no reason why we can't get 15, 20% each year for the next 2, 3 years. And I know that's being super bullish. And I know the bears are going to hate saying that, but the combination of low rates with low inflation in a disinflationary environment with GDP growth is a great setup for stocks. I'm sorry, that's the truth. Unemployment is the one thing we need to be worried about. Let's see what happens. The Fed is expecting that it's going to taper off. Let's see. And all you guys down in Texas have Teslas, don't you? I was not bearish in 2022. If you look at the articles I've written, I was pretty bullish. And I am a Southern Company over Duke. Duke's a great utility, though. So I actually found something that I want to listen to with everybody. I'm going to bring it up. It has to do with the AI trade. I actually did not get a chance to watch a lot of these things. Let's see what they're saying.
Global market strategist with JP Morgan Asset Management. So the market's, digesting the consumer sentiment number somewhat in stride, kind of more of the same that we've seen for much of this year. From a sentiment standpoint, we've gotten some pretty decent AI indicators over the last few days with the Micron earnings. There's news that OpenAI could be raising at a significantly high valuation of $830 billion. At least that's what they're targeting. How important do you think that theme will be going into 2026?
The theme of our outlook next year is AI lift and economic drift. So you think about some of these consumer sentiment numbers, some of these existing home sale numbers. We may continue to see the data around the economy soften, but the AI trade is still alive and well. And the way we evaluate that AI trade, EVAL, is earnings, valuations, adoption, leverage. From an earnings standpoint, you've seen double-digit earnings growth in the Mag 7 since early 2023. The upward revisions that are going on within those stocks are pretty impressive for 2026 and full year 2025 relative to downward revisions for the rest of the index. And the earnings surprises that you continue to get out of those stocks continue to be well above the market average. So you have past, present, and future earnings. On the valuations front, 28 times forward earnings. Expensive, but not extreme. Certainly nothing like the 70x you saw in tech stocks coming out of the internet boom. On adoption, this is a little bit tricky. It's a lot of survey data in terms of who's adopting AI and who's not. But we hope to see an increase in business adoption, some of that stickier adoption. But so far, a number of businesses are reporting that they're using AI to produce their goods and services and operating with paid subscriptions. And then on the leverage point, you look at hyperscaler net leverage. It's about 0.8 relative to the average issuer in the investment grade space at about 2.6. So these companies are leveraging their cash. And when they are tapping the capital markets for debt, they still have, it's smart capital allocation. They still have reasonable, sound balance sheets. So we still feel like those fundamentals will be intact for next year, driving that AI trade.
And there's, of course, the rest of the market, too. On the micro front, just today, you've got Nike lower on its results, FedEx impacted by cost pressures, KB Home citing downside risk for next year. So it seems like, outside of AI, there are certain situations that may be sounding the alarm into next year. Is that your read as you talk about the economic drift, as you call it?
As you look at S&P 500 returns and you start to see the pickup in the 493, it is still very much an AI story. It's just that AI story is broadening out to utilities, industrials, et cetera, a lot of the enablers of overall AI. Now, you have a counterweight in areas like financials that have still produced very impressive profits, could still benefit from things like deregulation, steepening yield curve, good macro environment. So if I'm thinking outside the AI trade, that's my favorite area when we think about those fundamentals. But again, we still have these looming issues in the background that when you look at margins in the S&P 500, areas like tech are skewing them higher. You look at the bottom end of the range when we think about margins, and some of those consumer sectors are still struggling. And that tariff impact, while it may not be a surge in terms of higher pricing and higher cost pressures, it's still going to feed into some of those sectors, and they have to be really smart about how they're appealing to consumers in a more K-shaped economy where that lower and middle income consumer is getting squeezed.
I pretty much agree with everything she said. I think that 2026 is just going to be more of the big companies continuing to expand. And Dougie, yet NVIDIA is being disrespected. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I got to tell you, I would not be surprised if NVIDIA hits 250 next year. I really wouldn't. I think they deserve to be around 200 right now, if not a little higher. I have a feeling Jensen's coming in with 65 billion plus in Q4, and they're going to set the stage to become the most profitable company in the market in 2026. So I'm holding all my shares of NVIDIA. If it falls further, I'd consider adding more. And I do think that the winners are going to keep winning. And NVIDIA 250 is not something that I think is crazy for next year. I agree. The winners this is going to be a market where the winners end up taking everything. I mean, I look at NVIDIA and they're doing everything right and they're being disrespected on fluff. I mean, the reasons why they're being disrespected just don't make sense. And I think the bears are wrong. I really do. I don't know. I'm not an Eli Lilly fan, so I can't help you with that one. The backlogs are incredible. I mean, look, Microsoft has huge backlog. You have huge backlog from Amazon, from Oracle, from Alphabet. Huge backlog. So here's the real question. Shifting. Reclassification of marijuana. Is Altria Group going to catch a huge bid here? Not sure where Mo finished this week, but it is my biggest component of my dividend harvesting portfolio. It's still yielding 7.3%. I mean, it's been on a tear over the past 5 years. Not really past 5 years, but since 2024, you were able to get in around 10% dividend. If marijuana becomes to the point where companies like Altria can sell it, it's going to be interesting, right? I'm not too worried about the political landscape. Maybe in a couple of years I will be, but right now I'm not. I think Microsoft goes much higher. I do think that Microsoft is the most complete business, and I think it's going to go much higher. I like Microsoft a lot. Mo does own a significant portion in one of the companies. I think it's Kronos Group. Yeah, no, June, you're right. We need, but in order for Mo to really benefit and companies like Philip Morris to really benefit, it needs to be completely legal so these companies can sell it. I mean, Sergio, it's hard to make a case for Microsoft to be in trouble. Companies are not getting rid of any of their offerings. I'm not necessarily against tariffs if they're done correctly. I don't know what the Supreme Court ruling is going to be. I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't be so sure. Microsoft has a lot of upside potential because they have a lot of EPS growth ahead of them, a lot of revenue growth ahead of them. Let me bring this up. Let me show everybody this. So you started looking at Microsoft. Keep in mind, this is a $300 billion revenue company. 16% revenue growth this year, 15% next year, 15% the year after that. That's a lot of revenue growth. So from the end of this year to the end of next year, they're expected to add $50 billion in revenue. And you look at EPS, 15 to 20% each year for the next 3 years. Microsoft could do really well. Microsoft trading at under 30 times. It's one of the most quality stocks in the market. Applied Materials is something I should look more into. I know I should look more into it. I just don't. Yeah, but where would Apple steal market share from? I think Apple made a lot of mistakes. Nike's difficult. I hate that industry. Microsoft arguably could be the strongest of the Mag 7. I mean, I think it's hard to discount NVIDIA, but I mean, Microsoft's a great company. Apple has let me down. Even though the share price is doing well, the company has let me down. Yeah, I feel like all the big companies are using Palantir these days. Microsoft losing market share to Google. I'm not sure if they actually are. I mean, they're still growing. Are you guys talking about shrooms in the chat? Jesus. This is why the chat is amazing. You guys talk about everything, don't you? Yeah, how crazy would that have been if freaking Apple acquired Tesla back in the day and Musk was running the company? Jesus. That would have been wild. There's too many to highlight. I'm just going off of everything. Dougie, I'll be at the meetup on February 1st, so I guess we'll see what everybody's talking about. Well, look, we'll see what happens with Siri. Siri's a major disappointment. Apple's been a disappointment from their technology standpoint. Still an amazing company, but you're coming up, Dougie? That's awesome. How many people are coming to the meetup in February? Put a yes in the chat if you're coming to the meetup. Okay. For the meetups in New York City in February, I think it's February 1st. That's Sunday. A bunch of people are coming. That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to hanging out with everyone. Good stuff. I really like Cisco. I really like Cisco. I will not be drinking at the meetup. I will be driving, so I will not be drinking. I apologize. I should make a video ranking pizza. Maybe. Listen, Trucker Rob, I think that would be a great idea, hitting up Patsy's. Yeah, I think he picked New York because it's right there for him. You don't want to see drunk Steve. No, no, you definitely don't. I know, I want pizza too. John, I have not heard that. I will look into it though. I'll see if I can find anything on it right now. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I didn't see this. You guys got to see this. I don't know if this is real or not. I mean, obviously it's real. I just don't think it's going to happen. Have you guys seen this? Bill Ackman is out of his mind. He wants to take SpaceX public through a merger with Pershing Square. Get out of here. Ackman's plan would distribute special purpose acquisition rights to Tesla shareholders, giving them the opportunity to invest in the SpaceX IPO. Shareholders who prefer not to participate could sell their SPARs to other interested investors. This would reward loyal Tesla shareholders with the opportunity to invest in SpaceX. Elon's not going to go for this. Did you guys see this? No way this happens. No way. But getting back to Cisco, yes, I really like Cisco a lot. I think that as data centers expand, we need more networking, we need more cabling, we need more switches, we need more firewalls. Cisco is one of the best, and all those need more ongoing security products. So I think Cisco continues to run. It's a cash cow. I think it's undervalued. I do think that Salesforce is going to be a dark horse in 2026. I think that Salesforce is going to be a catch-up trade for AI. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't think Elon's going to do that. PayPal should take off. There's no reason for PayPal to be at the $60 mark. I mean, PayPal, I'm not saying it's a $250 stock. I mean, come on. How is PayPal not 90 or 100? I mean, they're trading at 11 times free cash flow. That's kind of crazy. I think it's very cheap. It is pain, pal. I agree. Honeywell's all right. I don't own them. I own 3M instead. Yeah, PayPal the bank. Ugh. I don't even know what to say to that. Freaking pain pal. That's all you can say. Freaking pain pal. I don't have any thoughts on Cardano. I'm not going down the crypto rabbit holes. I'm buying the two that, Ethereum and the adjacent play with BMNR. That's all. I like Johnson Controls a lot. Can I add more color on Salesforce? I mean, I've gone through it pretty deeply. I'd have to pull up my notes to give you the exact numbers. The data behind Agentforce and Data 3 and was it Data 360? Let me see if I can find them. Hold on. Where are my notes? Oh my God. Why am I so tired? It's so early. It is so freaking early. All right. So Agentforce and Data 360 ARR was up 114% year over year to 1.4 billion. Agentforce alone's ARR was up 330% year over year. You had over 18,500 Agentforce deals close since launch. 9,500 deals paid, up 50% quarter over quarter. Here's where it gets interesting with Agentforce. Accounts in production up 70% quarter over quarter. Agentforce processed 3.2 trillion tokens through the LLM gateway. Data 360 ingested 32 trillion records, which was up 119% year over year. Almost 90% of Forbes' top 50 AI companies run on Salesforce, averaging 4 clouds per customer. This is a company everybody hates because everybody has an opinion that the software sucks. But nobody is leaving Salesforce. They keep growing their revenue year over year, and the decision makers are making the decision to stay. So I will tell you, look, Dougie, the fact that Salesforce uses salespeople to sell Agentforce tells me Agentforce doesn't work. Okay, maybe. All I know is the revenue keeps expanding, the profitability keeps expanding, and they are dramatically undervalued, and they are rewarding shareholders with a lot of buybacks, a growing dividend, and I do think that they're going to be the catch-up play in AI. At some point, numbers matter, and at some point, valuation matters. I must have missed the Tanner hate in the chat because I haven't seen any. I'll tell you, I'm going to agree with Curtis. If you follow Tanner for a while, you're doing pretty freaking well. So there really shouldn't be any Tanner hate in the chat except for his mustache. I don't have a favorite stock for 2026. I think QXO is my sleeper. So we'll see. Okay, this is one of the funniest. This one we're going to highlight. This is hilarious. BMR's dividend is about the same percentage as the chance of Steve going vegan in 26. Yeah, 0. Not happening. Vegan? Get the hell out of here. We got molars for a reason, everyone. Hitting the chim, got told the line. Lena, what's going on? Yeah, UPath has been around. I gotta look at them. Guys, see. Listen, we got molars for meat, I gotta tell you. So the chances of Steve going vegan is none. I have not, Spencer. You guys are hilarious, by the way. I think everybody wants Pizza Rambler. UNH, I mean, I guess it can continue to do well. I don't know enough about it. I don't want to learn it. No, I do not see Palantir at 255 in 2026. I mean, look, at some point, valuations matter, and that goes both ways. It goes the same way for NVIDIA, and it goes the same way for freaking Palantir. At some point, valuations matter, and Palantir's valuation is absolutely insane. It's insane. I don't care how good the software is. I don't care. It can be the best thing since sliced bread. And I've said many times, their Q3 report is one of the best business reports I've ever seen from a company. The valuation is insane, okay? It's insane. In fact, I'm going to bring it up for you somewhere. I'm going to find it and bring it up because I built it out the other night with somebody. I don't think it was with Amit. It was with Chris, probably. Give me a sec. Okay. Here we go. Salesforce has a market cap. I'm sorry. Palantir has a market cap that's 217 billion more than Salesforce. Yet Salesforce does 36 billion more in revenue. And I know the growth. I got news for you. It doesn't matter. One company does 11.8 billion in EBITDA. The other one does freaking not 3.6. I did that because I was showing where the multiple would be. Palantir's EBITDA is 800 million or something like that. We're going to update it right now. 875 million was their EBITDA. So check this out. I put them at 3.6 billion because I had said if they doubled their EBITDA and then doubled their EBITDA again, the valuation would still not make sense, okay? They're trading at 526 times EBITDA. I'm sorry, nothing about this valuation makes any sense. If they grow at 100% revenue and keep the same margins, which, keep in mind, is not freaking realistic by any means. Maybe they do 40% next year. Maybe. But they're not going to hit 5 billion EBITDA for several years. Maybe 5 years. I mean, I'm sorry. This is an amazing company. Okay? doing amazing things. Businesses love them, but this is not sustainable. Maybe Palantir is the one company that breaks all the rules, okay? Tesla breaks all the rules. Amazon used to break the rules. So I'm not saying Palantir has to come down, but everybody should realize that this is not normal, okay? It's not normal, and in many cases, it's not sustainable. So is Palantir an amazing company? Yes. But this is not normal. It's not sustainable. It is grossly overvalued. If it falls, I don't know. We'll see. But paying 256 times free cash flow is insane. Just saying. Yep, Doug, only takes 526 years to make your money back. Yep. I mean, I wasn't looking at the chat, so I'm sorry. Yes, Lena, it has broken all the rules. The question is, will it continue to break the rules? And look, I'm a shareholder of Palantir. It's not going to benefit me from it going down, but you got to be even keel. I'm not going to just say, oh, Palantir's going to 500. Palantir's going to $1 trillion in the next 2 years. I'm sorry, that would be insane. Lena, I'm with you. I bought it at 9 also. I think it's amazing. I'm shocked at where it is. Dougie, I get the argument, but, let's highlight Dougie's comment. Steve, what about this argument? Someone has to be the highest priced. Shouldn't it be one of the most important companies with the best software? I mean, best is an opinion. And if you look at Palantir's revenue versus Salesforce's revenue, one could argue that Salesforce is doing more than 10 times the revenue. Is their software more important than Palantir's because they're generating more revenue? You can make an argument any way, and I'm not saying what I just said is correct. I'm just saying you can make an argument any way. The reality is these are the numbers, and the reality is even if, so let's bring the Palantir, let me delete this. Let's do a little thought experiment. You ready? Let's be realistic. I'm not even going to be funny and say double, 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 double. Let's be realistic. I'm even going to give Palantir a lot of freaking rope here, okay? Let's say they do. Would everybody say that this is realistic for them to do? 50% growth next year, 40% in 2027, 35% in 2028, 30% in 2029. I mean, I think that is very aggressive, but let's see where we are on this, okay? So that puts revenue at $5.84 billion. Why did that not work? What the hell? What did I do wrong? That's what I did wrong. What the? Okay, 8.18 billion in 2027. Do this. There's a reason I'm doing this, everybody. Hold on. I'm holding of course I'm holding the wrong freaking things when I do this. Apologize. Okay. So under this methodology of growing 50%, 40%, 35%, 30%, their revenue would get to almost 14.5 billion in 2029. So let me see where the analysts have it for 2029. The analysts have it at 16.58. There's only 2 analysts though. So you know what? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. 40 and 40. Let's get closer to the analyst. So 50%, then 40, 40, 40. So let's move this over here so I can, oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Let's throw this number here on revenue. All right. Now, for EBITDA, let's keep it the same margins. Okay. Operating income, same margin. Cash from operations, same margin. Don't care about CapEx. We're going to say free cash flow, same margin. Still, way less than Salesforce. And if you put them at the same market cap as it is now, okay, it would still be trading at 127 times EBITDA and 62 times free cash flow. This is something that is so expensive that even if they increase revenue and keep the same margins by 50% and then 40, 40, 40, it is still drastically expensive based on 2029. So can Palantir keep going up? Yes, it can keep going up. But the likelihood of it going up the way people think is probably slim. And I think that they've pulled so much growth forward that the valuation just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, we'll see. I hope I'm wrong for all your sakes. I will tell you that right now. I hope I am wrong for everybody. Yeah, Dougie, look, Salesforce does have some first mover advantage. And even if the product is inferior, which I don't know if it is or it isn't, it's not showing up in the numbers. I mean, Lena, I hope it keeps. Look, I want Palantir to keep going up for everybody's sake. All I'm saying is I don't think people should be surprised if it sells off. That's all I'm saying. It's very expensive. Oh, user JCA69420, thank you so much. The Broadcom network chips you mentioned, CLS uses those to make switches. Can you look at CLS, PEG ratio less than 1, low debt? The hell is CL? What is this, CLS? I've heard of them. Okay, Solistica, I've actually heard of them. Yeah, let's look at them right now. Let's do it live for you. Get my raw reaction to this. All right. Pretty big revenue. Let me make it a little bigger for everybody. So pretty big revenue. Gross profit margin sucks. Absolutely horrible. I mean, how can the gross profit margin be that in operating? Okay. The cost of revenue is so expensive. And the cost to run the company are basically nothing. The cost of revenue are so expensive. Not a lot of interest expenses, which makes me think the balance sheet is clean. Net income. Okay. Not a lot of cash on hand. 2.4 in accounts receivable. No long-term investments. All right, basically no debt. So that's bullish. $2 billion in equity. All right, let's look at the cash flow statement. Let's see where the bodies are buried. All right. Not a lot of stock-based compensation being paid. I like that. Management is not taking advantage of the company. That's good. Cash from operations is going up. Not a lot of CapEx. Okay. They've been issuing debt, but they're also repaying debt, so they're playing an interest arbitrage game. Repurchasing shares like that. There's no dividends. Okay, let's see what the forward numbers are. A lot of growth. Huge earnings growth. Huge revenue growth, too. Margins may suck, but the analyst community seems to really think this is going to grow a ton. Let's go back to that chart. It's a big freaking chart. Jesus Christ. This company came out of freaking nowhere. I mean, this company made people freaking millionaires, huh? Jesus. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have told me about this a couple years ago? What's going on? What's going on here? Chris Patel likes, I have no idea what this is. APH. Okay. $165 billion market cap. Okay. I thought it said 165 million. Another great chart. I mean, this is a huge company. Jesus. A lot of growth also. Not as much as CEL, but a lot of growth. Or CLS, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's interesting. I got to look more into it. I mean, Chris may have told me about it. It doesn't sound familiar. Is this the one that does all the cabling? I think he mentioned it to me. I don't know. I can't keep up with everything. Everybody goes in so many different directions. Yeah, Alina, I'm not a Nike fan. I don't know. Nike worries me. I do not own Nike. I hate the industry. I am not getting into Take Two, guys. I'm worried GTA 6 isn't going to come out in 2026. So I haven't looked at Elf in a while. I should do another dive on them. Oh, top Christmas movies: Lethal Weapon, Lethal Weapon, and Home Alone. I have not looked into what Adobe's adding on the AI front, so I really don't know. Oh my God, The Gentleman's amazing. Great movie, great TV series. I mean, it's hard not to like Home Alone, right? Home Alone is just classic. The Wet Bandits, classic movie. Oh, that's a good. I'd really have to think about that, T. Nelly. I don't know. I mean, John Cusack is just great. Thank you, PBH. Really appreciate the super chat. Cusack's great. Really like Cusack. Lord of the Rings watch party. Wow. I mean, that's difficult to do. Those are epic movies, but they're so long. Did not buy Nibius yet. It's a Monday thing at this point. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm so tired. Cooper Flag is having a great year. No, I actually like CLS. I don't like the margins, but I actually like CLS. I got to look a little bit more into it, but it's interesting on the surface. I didn't get the chance to watch the Rogan interview with Ethan Hawke yet. I'm so far behind on my podcasts. I haven't watched All In. I've been so busy. Identity was interesting. What would make me quit my job and do this all day? I don't think that that's an option, unfortunately. I'd love to hang out with everybody, but that's just not an option. Okay, Gary, I'm with you. Miller's Crossing's amazing. Miller's Crossing is so good. Get a farm, retire, hang out. Yeah, I mean, listen, I like it. I like working. What can I say? I like working. Real question is, what are we getting into next year? And the more I think about it, I think all of you were right and I was wrong. And I think the Neo Clouds are going to do well the more I look into it. Tor, I'll tell you this. I've been buying Verizon and I've been buying Starwood. I really like Starwood a lot here, yielding 10%. They've been deploying a tremendous amount of capital, and I think that they're going to catch a bid in a lower rate environment. And when I say catch a bid, I mean go back to 20. This is not something you buy for capital appreciation. Have I seen the show Animal Kingdom? Absolutely, it's a great show. No, Starwood's long term. STWD, Barry Sternlich is one of the best CEOs of any REIT. I really like that company. Owned it for a long time. Just keep plowing the dividend back into more shares. It's a very long term hold. Only from an income perspective. Lena, S&P 500, obviously. More Salesforce, more QXO, more Microsoft, maybe more NVIDIA. Probably scaling into Nibius, but that's about it. I may buy more BMNR. I've been scaling back in. So we'll see. And Ethereum. I mean, I bought more Ethereum last night. Yeah, the Bears are making it a freaking game. I don't know about the Bears these days. Oh, you meant the football game. I'm talking about the AI Bears. The freaking AI Bears. Look, I like both Starwood and Realty Income. They're both good REITs, in my opinion. So I like them both, not one over the other. I like them both. I don't know what the hell Michael Burry's thinking. Who knows? I do like AGNC a lot. AGNC is a good freaking company. I think the lower rate environment is going to be very well for them. Yeah, CLS, I got to do work on it. I mean, everything I saw I liked. I think it's got big growth. I got to look at the industry. It's not an industry I follow. I can't do it at 11:16 a night when I'm losing steam. So I need to do more work on it. I got to go through the quarterlies. I got to read the transcripts. So it's very interesting. And it's something that I'm going to get into and take a look at further. You know, Tevis, you have a link, sir. Why don't you come on for a little bit? You can talk about the fights. I think I should start texting these guys individually. Maybe they didn't look at the group chat for tonight that I sent the link out. Or maybe Tevis is out and I don't know. Tevis usually goes out. This is early for him. He's probably getting ready to go to the bar or something. See, I knew it. Can't do it tonight. Just hopped on my phone to say hi. See, Tevis is out enjoying himself. We all knew that. We all knew that. Just don't get into too much trouble, Tevis. Yeah, Lena, I'm with you. I like both of those. I'm probably getting into both of those. Tevis is on the prowl. Maybe. I really want Paramount to get the deal. I mean, they are the one that I want to get the deal, so we'll see. I don't think Netflix is going to get. I don't think it's going to get past FTC. I think that number 1 and number 4 combining is going to create too big of a Netflix from a subscriber standpoint. I just don't think it happens. We'll see. Ethereum to 1800. I mean, on one hand, I don't want to see that, but on the other hand, it would be a great buying opportunity, I think. So I don't know. I don't have any real thoughts on it. Yeah, Jake Paul, I mean, you got to give the guy a lot of credit getting in the ring with AJ. I'm still shocked it went past the first round, but I stopped lifting like 5 or 6 years ago, guys. Not going to start again. No interest. A lot of funny movies out there. Caddyshack, Animal House, Tailgating Nights. I mean, Old School, Wedding Crashers, Tin Cup. A lot of funny movies out there. Why do you guys want to see the picture of me lifting? Blazing Saddles is a good one. I don't even know what the housemate is. Sorry. I'm actually watching Power again. Power is the show I'm most interested in again. I've already watched it, but it's very good. Show them the picture of you from earlier with the short hair. Big Lebowski is great. Man, I don't know why you guys want to see what I used to look like. I don't look like that now. All right. So, Lena, you like Power? I'm with you. I am with you. All right. So, for those of you that are wondering what the hell the picture is, I used to lift a lot, I don't lift anymore, and I don't know why people like care about what I used to look like, because I don't look like this anymore, but that is what I used to look like. I used to look like I was a linebacker. So that is obviously not what I look like now. No, I can't freaking lift the way I used to, and I have no interest in getting back to like this. So, no interest. No, whoever uses that stuff is straight up cheating. Like, come on, you don't need it. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need creatine. You don't need any of that stuff. You just gotta freaking lift and eat. That's all you gotta do. Like, you don't need any of that stuff. You just gotta eat the right way, and you gotta freaking lift the right way. That's it. Horse meat, like Alistair. Horse meat. Yeah, look, I'll tell you guys the secret, okay? And look, there's a lot of ways you can get big. You want to get big, like you really want to get big, this is what you do. You freaking lift heavy, you lift hard, big ass protein shake right afterwards. But what people don't tell you is you need a casein protein shake an hour before bed, because you don't want your body starting to break down muscle overnight. The casein protein with milk instead of water. Never use water for protein shakes. Always use milk. Casein protein with milk overnight. Feed your muscles all night long. And a lot of Italian food. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need any of that shit. You guys are hilarious. I've always liked milk. I mean, milk is just freaking great. Okay, here we go. End up like Vladimir from The Program. How about this? The Program is a top 5 football movie. Program is one of the best sports movies of all time. Just saying. No, I don't. I did not use the deadlift. There's no reason to. There's zero reason to freaking deadlift. Do a Roman chair. You don't need the deadlift. Look, and here's the thing. Everybody wants to talk about deadlifting, but in reality, are you playing professional sports? And even if you're playing professional sports, I would also argue the deadlifts are not worth it, because you can slip a disc, and once you slip a disc, your back is never the same. You can end up with bulging discs. The risk reward is not there. And for people that lift as a hobby, those lifts are dangerous. I don't care how good your form is. Those lifts are dangerous. It is not worth it. It is just, deadlifting is not worth it. And I will also say barbell squats are not worth it, guys and girls. In all seriousness, you don't need to. Get a kettlebell and do goblet squats. Do freaking splits. You don't need to freaking do barbell squats. I'm sorry, you just don't. Yeah, I mean, look, he hit it right on the head. I will tell you right now, when I looked like that, believe it or not, my workout routine was half calisthenics and half lifting. I used to do so many pull-ups, chin-ups, hammer pull-ups, dips, and kettlebells. I mean, you strengthen all your freaking tendons and all the muscles that you don't hit when you're doing lifts. I mean, calisthenics is really legit. Okay, so you're not supposed to lift with your back with a deadlift. Huh. Okay. Well, you're right in the beginning part, but you put a tremendous amount of stress on your back and you do use your lower back in a deadlift. It's just not safe. Most people do it wrong and it's not worth it. Goblet squats are awesome. I mean, listen, more power to you. You want to do deadlifts, do deadlifts. I don't know. You don't need it. You truly don't need it. And I will tell you this, for all the people that are in their 20s, in all seriousness, the one exercise I wish I never did was skull crushers. If you want big arms, I get it. It's not good for your elbows long term. I'll tell you that right now. And maybe we'll start doing freaking yoga. That'd be hilarious. I should start a whole stream of me doing yoga. It'd be so funny. Yoga is underrated. I mean, I don't know if I could get into it or not. Pickleball tournament? Jesus. Man, pickleball came out of nowhere. No, I'm not going to make videos of me doing squats, guys. Yeah, my concerns with barbell squats is once again, just like deadlifts, people don't do them correctly. And people freaking end up hurting themselves. You don't need it. Like once again, I'm not talking about people who are D1 athletes here, okay? I'm not talking about pro athletes. Just in general, you don't need to do barbell squats. You can get just as good of a leg workout doing other things. It's so many people put their bodies at too much risk when they lift. I'll tell you this, I've never maxed out on bench. I don't even know what I could max out on bench. I would never go less than 6 reps. There's no reason to. Oh, dude, there's no way I'm doing hot yoga. That ain't happening. Listen, too many people use incorrect form. Bulgarian split squats I'm good with, but use kettlebells. Robert, how old are you? I'm just saying you're going to feel it when you're older. Like think about this, okay? In your mid 30s, you're still feeling good, you're still strong, okay? But what are you lifting for? At that point, a lot of people have not made the transition, and you're not lifting for sports. It's just, why put your body at risk? Trust me, the older you will be very thankful. I can't believe this basically turned into a lifting stream. Jeez. Sorry, did not mean for that to happen. Truly did not mean for that to happen. The back is not why I stopped golfing. It's more time. Yeah, the only reason I brought it out is because people were asking for it. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Well, I will tell everybody this. I talked to Matt Money today. Him and I will be live tomorrow afternoon. We're probably thinking 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow. We're going to see if the White House picks him up again. We'll see if the White House puts Matty Money back on the site. The White House quant, yes, Matt Money. So tomorrow around 3 or 4, I'll talk to him in the morning and we'll get something out and I'll put it on YouTube around noon or so and give everybody a couple hours notice. Mr. President, Matt Money. Matty Money. He is our shepherd. 100% he's our shepherd. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Everybody used to lift in the 90s and early 2000s. Everybody. I think it's just you see all the YouTube videos now of freaking people streaming themselves lifting. Dude, don't arm wrestle. You'll destroy your rotator cuffs. I think everybody wishes they listened to the shepherd and got in on Rocket Lab. He is the shepherd. All right. I'm going to get going. I would not do Power Slap if I was 20. That would not happen. I am going to get some sleep because I don't know why. I'm getting a little tired. When I say a little tired, a lot tired. Maddie, our Shepherd Money, and I will be live tomorrow in the afternoon, either 3 or 4 p.m. I'll come up with some topics. We'll try to get down to how he ended up on the White House. Maybe I will interview him about if he's going to become the new Fed chair. And we'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody hanging out, spending your Saturday night with me. It means the world. Truly appreciate it. I am going to hit the sheets. Oh, that's a little bit of a white lie. I'm going to lay on the couch and watch some TV, and then I'm going to hit the sheets. And we'll go from there. I will see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the night. Congressman Matt Money, that would be great. And we'll figure out some things to talk about tomorrow. Appreciate everybody being here. Really means the world to me. And for all of you that do not have plans on Christmas Day, I am going to do a Christmas Day stream. At some point, I don't know when, I'm going to go live for a couple hours on Christmas Day for those of you that are not doing anything. So we'll figure out some fun topics and some fun things and blah, blah, blah. More to come on that. I'm actually going to see if anybody else is around. I will be around, though, and we will do a Christmas Day stream, not Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. See what happens. We'll get some cookies. We'll get some milk. Maybe I'll break out and have a glass of wine. We'll see. I haven't had wine in a while. So, pizza party is going to be hard. We know where I can get pizza from. We do a Chinese party. The Chinese places are open. But, yeah, if I don't talk to everybody, if you're going away, travel safe, happy holidays. Really appreciate everybody. I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of the night.